Stagnation is really a bid to grow. It's your life knocking on the door being like, it's time to grow. That's why you're stuck, because this place doesn't fit you anymore. I'm Charla Larston. I've been a TV writer for almost a decade, but it wasn't that long ago that quitting my day job and moving to Hollywood was nothing but a pipe dream. After lots of failures, many mistakes, and many lessons learned, I've now written for 7 TV shows, 2 features, and sold 3 TV pilots. I've done all this through imposter syndrome, burnout, and with zero roadmap. On the Werking Writer Podcast, I pull back the curtain on breaking in and teach screenwriters and creatives how to thrive both personally and professionally. Without further ado, let's get to work. What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of the Werking Writer Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me once again, my beautiful writers and creatives and creative spirits. I want to start the podcast by apologizing if you can hear a dryer in the background. I am on a time schedule, so we do have to run the dryer while we record the podcast, and that's just what life is like nowadays. Okay, your girl has a doctor's appointment. Okay, I'm fine. So let's jump right into the topic of today's episode, which is what to do when you are in urgent need of a reset, when you feel stuck, when you feel stagnant, when you feel like things are just not moving forward, they're not working, you're not finishing things, you're not feeling invested, you're not feeling energetic, you're struggling, you're on that struggle bus of life. You know, we've all been there. And these tips and steps that I have for you today are really for my creatives. You know, it's really for the people who are led by creativity, who are led with that creative mind. So this is what I think has helped me as a creative, and what I see as actions and tactics and mindsets that really help people move past being stagnant, feeling stuck, and not knowing how to change those circumstances. I feel like it's important to start by recognizing what stagnation, what stuckness is, and what it's doing for you. I think a really good way to define stagnation is that it is an external expression of internal misalignment. I'm going to repeat that because even I need to hear it again. Stagnation, stuckness, is an external expression of internal misalignment. So when we're stuck and stagnant, what it's trying to tell us is that something that used to work in the past, and that something being our ways of doing, our ways of thinking, our ways of being, it used to work in the past, and for some reason, it's not working in the present moment. So in order to recalibrate, we need to take a step back from our doing and reflect on what's not working so that we can do that reset. We can do that recalibration. So I'm just going to repeat it a little bit just to get it right in my own mind. Okay. Stagnation is an external expression of internal misalignment. And so that means that the reason why things feel off, things feel stuck, things aren't working is because however I was operating in the past, whatever my goals were, whatever my daily tasks were, whatever my actions were, whatever my dreams were, whatever my ways of thinking and being were, something's not working right now. So that means that I need to take a moment to check in with myself and see if what's inside now is still matching with what was inside. I hope you're following me because I'm trying to follow me. Okay. Because I think stagnation is such a trippy thing that life does to us. Because for the most part, most of us spend the vast majority of our lives in our subconscious mind. We're on autopilot most of our lives. For most of our tasks, while we're brushing our teeth, while we're washing the dishes, we're taking a shower, we're driving, we're taking the train, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're not usually fully in the present moment. We're like robots, most of us. We're not fully present. We're off in our thoughts. We're off in our thinking. We're stuck in old patterns. For the most part, we're not in the present moment, because if we were, it wouldn't take something like stagnation to kind of stop you in your tracks to tell you that, hey, your life's not running smoothly for some reason or another. You would have just noticed it, but you didn't. So life kind of came in and was like, you need to stop and take a look at this, sir. Something's not something's not the math isn't mathing. Something you have been taught, something that you believe, some way that you operate that used to potentially help you in the past is currently making your present feel meh. It's making your present feel it's making it feel boring. Deep sigh. That's what's up. So that's why I think stagnation is kind of like, it's kind of cool, because it's kind of like trippy. It's just the universe, it's your life just being like, you need to pay attention. So here's how I think you actually are able to do that. And this step one, I think you can genuinely take or leave. It's really up to you, but it is to do a purge of your physical space, because I think that a clutter-free space really helps the mind just get unburdened somehow. I think truly, I feel like I read this somewhere, but I don't remember where I read it, that like clutter in your space makes your mind think about things that have to be done constantly. So it's a way for your mind to never be quiet, essentially. It's just one more way for us to not have clarity of thought and unburdened mind, so that we can actually do the things that we need to do. So that is tip number one, to do an actual purge of your space. Get rid of stuff that you don't need anymore. Clear the clutter. You don't need to be looking at it. Make your bed, like just do stuff to clean up the space so that you have the ability to like really focus and be present and do the work that you need to do to move past your stagnation. So here's the real step number one, then, if we want to call it that. But technically, step number two, because I highly recommend cleaning up your space and decluttering. But so step number two is to determine your current values. What is the most important thing to you right now? What are the most important things to you right now? Is it freedom? Is it stability? Maybe that's financial stability. Maybe that's some other form of stability. Is it community? What do you need the most right now? Is it rest? Like what are your values and what do you need right now in this present time? So after you've like really thought about like, hey, what are my values? What really matters to me? Now I want you to think about whether or not the values that you hold right now match up with everything that you're doing right now. Does this, job that I have match up with the values that I have right now? Do the goals that I have match up with the values that I have right now? Does the company I keep, or the, the tasks I have on my to-do list, the events that I've signed up for, like all of those things, do the things that I have to do, that I'm, the responsibilities I've signed myself up for, Are those things in line with the values and the needs that I have currently? Do I still care about the things that I'm connected to? Do I still value them? Are they aligned with me? Do I want to do them or do I want them? So that's the two-parter. You're determining your current values and matching those up with your current to-do list. Do the things that I currently have in my life match up with what I really care about right now and what I really need right now? So I kind of feel like step 3 kind of like reveals itself because step 3 is to determine what on your to-do list, what things in your life no longer fit with your current values, that are no longer aligned with you, but they potentially were previously. After you determine what no longer aligns with me, what's no longer important to me, it's to determine, can those things be removed? Can those things be minimized? Can those things be reassigned to somebody else? Can those things be crossed off the list? Can they be deleted? Delete, delete, delete. Delete, delete, delete. What no longer serves me that needs to be deleted? Can it be deleted? What stresses me out that needs to be deleted? What makes me miserable that needs to be deleted? Delete, delete, delete. Maybe put, before it made sense and now it doesn't make sense. So after you've decluttered your space, you've cleared your space, you've determined what your current values and needs are, you've matched those up with what you're currently doing and seen what no longer is aligned, what no longer serves you, what gets deleted. The next step is to start paying attention to your life. It's to become aware, because remember, when I opened, I talked about how most of us spend the majority of our lives on autopilot. We're not really paying attention. We're just doing the same actions. We're having the same mental loops go on and on. We're lost in our thoughts most of the time. Step 4 is to start to become aware of the present moment. It's to start to pay attention so that you can observe yourself, so that you can see what patterns are no longer working for you. See the ways that your old ways of thinking that used to help you in the past but aren't helping you anymore are asking to be evolved, to change, to improve, to grow. It's really, stagnation is really a bid to grow. It's your life knocking on the door being like, it's time to grow. That's why you're stuck, because this place doesn't fit you anymore. So observing yourself, becoming aware, raising your level of awareness becomes a hugely important part of your growth, because you can't grow what you don't know. I just made that up. You can't grow what you don't. How could you possibly grow um your way of how can you possibly fix old patterns if you're not aware that you're doing them, basically? So how do you become aware? How do you start to pay attention if you've spent the vast majority of your life on autopilot? How do you stop being on autopilot? How do you grow your awareness? And I want to teach you a very basic mindfulness technique to help you start to wake up to your own life, to become aware of the present moment. And it's called Where Is My Butt? And here's how it works. It's super simple. And the way that I would suggest that you use it is that whenever you notice that you are frustrated, that you are annoyed, that you're feeling stuck, you're feeling that stuckness, you're feeling that, you know, that restriction, to just think, where is my butt? And bring yourself back to the present moment. Literally feel your butt in the chair. Look around at your surroundings. Hear your breath. Like, it's just a little moment of wake up, wake up, wake up. Where's my butt? And it's super subtle. It's really little. But the thing is, like, those moments of frustration, when you can remember to bring yourself back into the present moment, you help yourself observe yourself so that you can potentially change what's creating that frustration. This is a really simple technique. It's not supposed to be more than that. It's not supposed to be more complicated. There's not more to it. It's literally just when you are frustrated, when you notice stagnation, or you can also just do it just to practice awareness in general, and just do it whenever you remember to bring yourself back to the present moment by saying, where is my butt? You can just think it, and literally, when you think, where's my butt, you feel your butt in the chair if you're sitting, you feel your feet on the floor if you're standing, you feel your hand on the train um, holder if you're on the train. I don't know. Um, you feel the water on your hands if you're washing your hands. Like, you literally it's just a moment of bringing yourself into the present moment, and practicing that over and over helps you to very slowly but surely start to become a little bit more present, a little bit more aware. It starts to help you break that autopilot loop just a little bit. And it is, I think, one of the best mindfulness techniques that you can start with as somebody who, if you're new to mindfulness at all, I think, by the way, that mindfulness is one of the best tools that creatives and creators can use, especially in the modern world when most of us are just not paying attention most of the time and our attention is getting shorter. It can really help to help your focus and your attention, and also to help you grow, because the more awareness you can bring into your life, the more you can start to direct your life. So that's step 4: observe yourself. Where is my butt? Grow your awareness. And step 5, as usual, if you've ever heard me talk before, I feel like you won't be surprised about this. And this is to be patient and compassionate with yourself as you work through moving through stagnation, as you work through growing through stuckness. Because I think one of the things that is really misunderstood is the timeline that stuckness requires, which, by the way, there is no timeline. It just takes the amount of time that it takes. The growth takes the amount of time that it takes. You're going to learn the lessons over and over until the growth that is the potential for the growth that is there gets achieved. If you're struggling with perfectionism, the stuckness is going to continue until you address that perfectionism, until you allow yourself to be seen as flawed, until you allow yourself to put yourself out there. If the stuckness is because of an imposter syndrome, or a lot of self-doubt, the stuckness is going to present itself until you're able to work through that self-doubt. That's why I'm telling you, this stagnation is trippy, because it's life really giving you an opportunity. It's offering you, it's waking you up, it's stopping you in your tracks, it's giving you so much tension. And so I really feel like when you're stagnated, when you're stuck, it feels like you're like walking in jello, like everything just feels so slow, and like there's just no motivation and no momentum. And it's truly this really wonderful gift, I think, from the universe, this opportunity for us to really take a moment, take a step back, and observe ourselves, observe our ways of doing, our patterns of thinking, and question if they're still working for us. Question if the values that we held before are no longer the values that we have right now, and our our lives are not a reflection of the new internal values that we hold, the new needs that we have, the new person that we are. Have you taken a moment to check in and see who you are right now and what you want right now? And maybe you're not maybe it's not what you thought it was. This is a moment, this is an opportunity for recalibration, for a rethink. It's time for a reset. I hope this episode was helpful to you. As always, get out there, get to work. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment for the algorithm gods.